Welcome to a very special edition of Card Knock Life. I'm Corey, and soon I'll be joined by John from the discard.com, who will be playing another deck similar to the one I'm about to show you. We've decided to take 5-ticket Commander and 10-ticket Commander to a whole new level. Commander is notoriously an expensive format, but we both built a deck that costs exactly or less than 1 ticket, according to a price on MTGGoldfish.com. When you upload your deck list, you can get the price right here from Card Hoarder, 1 ticket and 15 cents. Now, it was 99 cents yesterday when I built it, but that's part of this format that makes it kind of interesting. Based on availability of cards, you can get very, very cheap versions of cards in foil, and as soon as the stock runs out, the prices are going to fluctuate quite a bit. So, for just a ticket and 15 tenths of a ticket, I suppose, you can build a pretty competitive deck. I decided to go with Oona, Queen of the Fae, which is a commander that is both blue and black hybrid, has flying, is a pretty big, aggressive flying creature, and can create a ton of relevant keyword 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue tokens. So I decided to take this in a tribal direction. I built a rogue deck. But also a little bit of a sub-theme of playing fairies. As you can see, I've got like Sprite and Noble in the deck as well. Now, there are plenty of cards that I would have loved to play in this deck that just were too far outside of my budget, but I did have to splurge for a few that cost a few extra cents. And I was able to do that because when MTG Goldfish evaluates the cost of your deck, it does not include basic lands in the cost. So you would think that 1 cent per card adds up to 100 cards, but with 50 or so, or I should say with 40 or so lands, maybe 37 I'm running, you have 37 extra cents to squeeze into your other cards, and it makes it a little bit more interesting. So as you can see, I went all in for cards like Notorious Throng at 4 cents, which is a very expensive card in this deck's, as far as this deck is concerned. But it was necessary because for my rogue theme, I decided to do some Prowl mechanics. And Prowl is an effect, or is a mechanic that allows you to play a spell for either a reduced cost or to play with an extra effect when a rogue deals damage to a player. So as you see, Notorious Throng gives you an extra turn if you've dealt damage with a rogue. So the same is true for some of the creatures. You can Prowl into play a Stink Drinker Bandit, which is another card I had to kind of splurge for. That's like a 3 or 4 cent card. Because this card says, whenever a rogue you control attacks and isn't blocked, it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Obviously, that's pretty good with a bunch of tokens that Oona creates. So, I'll go back to my deck on Moto. You can see more that way. I've got a ton of cards that just happen to be rogues and are pretty evasive. So I went off the plan of I'm going to play a bunch of evasive threats with some advantages to dealing damage to a player like Bident of Thassa and things like that, as well as the Prowl mechanics. So, you can see Oona's Blackguard gives you other advantages to playing rogues. I have other advantages to playing fairies. And then a lot of the creatures, just about all of the creatures actually happen to be rogues as well. So they play off of that tribal sub-theme. Some of the cards, surprisingly enough, are cards that I would play in a fully powered commander deck and just happen to be 1 or 2 cents on Moto. Like Reanimate, for example, is maybe a 1 or 2 cent card. Surprise. Go figure. In paper, the deck is quite a bit more expensive. It looks to be about, let's see here, $67 to build in paper. But for just 1 ticket, or approximately 1 ticket, depending on the day of the week that you look at it, you can build an entire commander deck that I would say looks pretty competitive. It's not super embarrassing, the cards I had to run in here. I mean, I've got Factor Fiction, I've got Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Hero's Downfall, something that I might include in my powered commander deck. So in just a moment here, John's going to be joining me. Stick around, and the next video that we'll play should be our versus game. If not, take a look for the Card Knock Life versus the discard.com 1-ticket commander verse, and we're sure to do more of these because we had a whole heck of a lot of fun building these decks. I don't know anything about what John's going to play. He doesn't know what I'm going to play, except for the fact that I've got a blue-black commander, and I know he's got either a Grixis or a blue-white commander. We left it at that, so we didn't end up playing the same thing. But we're gonna play some games and give our feedback on this format. Limited only to a casual format based on the fact that the card prices are so much in flux all the time that you can never really regulate if your deck is legal or not. But as far as just playing with a friend, I think that this one's gonna pan out to be a lot of fun. It certainly was a blast to build. So thanks for watching.